unlock, ¿no? Entonces, ya. Bueno, Dani, do you want to say a few words just to reintroduce yourself quickly? And then we see if people had time to put their project ideas in the chat so we can walk through them. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good. So,
Okay.
hello everyone. Really good to be here again for the second day. So, my name is Danny Toms, and I'm a developer and an entrepreneur, and I am the technical and technology and innovation steward at Unlock Protocol, and I'm also the founder of P2E Inferno and Eat Rwanda, which are both initiatives to help onboard new developers and users to Ethereum in a gamified way using hands-on educational boot camps and bounties. So I really like uh, taking people through the stages from, newbies or new developers, new users to becoming, veterans and blockchain experts. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dani. Bueno, chicos, puedes abrir tus ¿cómo se llama? Tus micrófonos y puedes explicar quizás sobre tus proyectos, pero también puedes poner tus ideas en el chat, puedes preguntar. Bueno.
Sí, listo, chicos. Ahí aprovechen, por favor, en preguntar todo lo que crean necesario. ¿Hay alguien que desea animarse? Bueno, aquí tenemos a Noemí, Carolina,
Yeah.
Dani, creo que, Yanela, Esther, Adrián, Hilary, Katy, Claudia, Mario, Lucy, Carla, Candelaria. ¿Quién desea comenzar? Pregunten, aprovechemos este espacio.
Este está preguntando por el template en JavaScript, creo. Entonces voy a decir eso a Dani. Dani, did you bring your JavaScript template with you today?
Yeah. I'm just gonna drop the link in the chat now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Keep clicking the wrong thing.
Can you show how to use it on screen?
Yeah, I was hoping I could do that real quick. So,
Awesome. Okay, go for it. Él va a mostrar cómo se pueden utilizar este template para conectarse con Unlock. Okay, Nani, you go.
all right, so I will start with from the top, and I probably should have cloned this before, but I was just wrapping up some things before we got on the live stream. So, uh, we're gonna do everything right here on the call like you would if you wanted to use this, so you wouldn't be missing out on anything. So, when you
Wait a second. This time, shorter break, so I can actually explain what you're doing. Give me a second.
great idea, great idea.
Right, because this is a little bit more maybe new information. Ok, entonces eso es el GitHub repository con el template que puedes utilizar y él va a mostrar exactamente qué debes hacer cuando quieres utilizar este template, ¿no? Porque él no tenía tiempo antes de taller para hacer el clone de este GitHub repository, entonces ya vamos a hacer todo en vivo en esta sesión que es súper bueno. Okay, go for it.
All right, so first thing you would do is grab the link to the repo, and then you want to clone the repo. So heading over to my IDE, and I'm using Cursor. So if you're using a different type of IDE, that would be fine. And you're just gonna hit git clone to clone it into that folder. And once you do that, since I'm already in the folder, I'm not going to have to CD into it. But typically, if you had done the git clone like this without this last dot here, there's a dot there. Can you guys see my screen, the IDE? All right, perfect. So if you notice, there's this dot. Let me increase the size a bit more. So that's a bit better. And I'll hide this for now.
Yeah, está
So
mucho mejor.
when you remove that, then it's going to have this folder. So you would need to run the command cd with the name of the project, which is unlock dash privy next.js starter. So since I didn't do that and I used this dot, it created the thing right in the same folder, which is why you see all of these files. So the next thing that you want to do is type in npm install so that you can install all the dependencies in your folder. Maybe you can explain, you can do that. You can translate that, Stella, while we wait
Ah,
for the npm
bueno,
install to.
sí, debes instalar todas las dependencias con este comando, ¿no? Pero primero debes, ¿cómo se llama? Clone el repository. Y ahora ya, esos son todas las dependencias que instalan por el. ¿Qué estás utilizando? What are you using? ¿Es this Visual
I'm using
Studio?
cursor. Cursor.
Ah, ok. Dani está utilizando Cursor, por si acaso.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
can use anyone that you're comfortable with, Visual Studio Code, Atom, and any other IDE that you're comfortable with. It
yeah.
works the same.
Puedes utilizar cualquier, obviamente, pero yeah, I just wanted to say this is what you are using. I know you can use different ones, but it looked
Okay.
so much like Visual Studio. I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
was a fork. It was a fork of Visual Studio Code because they wanted to get like easy marketing and developer access because a lot of people use VS Code. So just
Yeah.
forking VS Code and using it is just like it feels the
Is
same.
it just saying in the chat that she has no credits anymore? She was using Cursor, but credits ran out on her.
Well, true, true. You know, for me, I use Codex and Claude Code more. So while I'm actually running the thing in Cursor, what I would use is I would do this. So I split the terminal into two, and on the second terminal, I would have Codex open, and that's what I use most of the time. So you would just do Codex like this, and it uses your Chat GPT accounts. So if you're already signed in with Chat, if you already subscribed to Chat GPT, you can use that. And
Oh,
since it's not logged into this computer, I'm just going to use Claude Code. So that's another one. So if you also pay for Claude, the Claude subscription, then you can use Claude Code. So I actually use both of them. So I'm just going to try to see. I think maybe Claude might be logged in. So let's see if Claude is logged in. All right. So yeah, Claude Code is logged in. So what this does is it gives you this AI agent right in the terminal, which is very powerful. And that's what I use when the cursor subscription has no credits. You can just use your Chat GPT with Codex, or you can use your Claude with Claude Code if you have either of those.
Excuse me, Danny. Esther is asking if you can repeat how do you connect GPT with Cursor? Plot, I think, with here.
Okay. So how you do it is first you want to install it. So where you can go to OpenAI, openai.com, and that's where you would find Codex. And you would need to install the Codex CLI. Let me just do Codex CLI on Google. So it's on developers. I'm going to paste the link in the chat so you can go to the exact place. But let me look for the command that you're going to install. Okay, so this is it. Uh, I'm going to copy that. And so what you want to do is just take that command, put it in your terminal like this, and then you hit enter and it's going to install the codecs in your system. So it's system wide. So any terminal you have, you can just type in codecs and it'll like open it up for you. So this is the link to get to chat the OpenAI website if you want to read more about the codecs. Same thing for Claude Code. So let me do that to Claude Code. And just let me make sure this is the right one first before I copy the link. All right, so yeah, this is the same thing for Claude Code. This is the command to install it in your terminal, and this is the page to read about it. So either one you like, they're both pretty good, but I tend to use the ChatGPT one, which is Codex, because it has GPT-5, which is really good at coding. it's it's a bit better for if you're not like using the higher Anthropic subscription for you to get access to the Opus, which is the Anthropic's top model. You you would have to use the Sonnet. So if I should type slash model, okay, yeah, it would allow you to see the model that you can use, which is Sonnet, and I don't have any other option. But if you're using the codex, you have access to GPT-5, which is the best model from OpenAI. So it's kind of like it gives you the best of OpenAI, while with Claude, you don't get the best of Anthropic. So the project's dependencies have been installed. So I'm going to clear my terminal and I'm going to exit out of this third one. So we have two terminals here. And so the next thing that you want to do is your dependencies that you want to have for this. And so we want to copy the .env file. And since this uses Privy for authentication, you're going to need a Privy app ID. So first thing that I want to do is just do in my terminal cp.env, and then I hit tab to autocomplete, and then I'm going to do .env. So what this actually does, it copies this file and makes a new one like this. So now we're going to go to Privy and get an app ID. Maybe do you need to explain that while I grab?
Sí, entonces, I was actually answering some questions in the chat, but I hope I can summarize. Let's see. Entonces, mira, hay diferentes oportunidades para conectar con Unlock, ¿no? Uno es el Checkout Builder y nos pregunta Adrián por el chat, ¿cómo puedo conectar para los certificados? Y bueno, hay un tutorial en nuestro YouTube, cómo puedes utilizar el Unlock, la página web de Unlock, nuestro user interface, ¿no? Para hacer los certificados por user interface y después puedes implementar esas certificaciones con un enlace o algo similar en tu página web. Eso es una metodología. Otra metodología es como Dani explicó ayer, puedes utilizar el Unlock.js. Unlock.js es un archivo que puedes utilizar directamente del equipo de Unlock, ¿no? pero es un poco complicado para las personas nuevas normalmente. Por eso Dani crea este template, ¿no? Que está mostrando ahora, porque es un poquito más fácil y puedes conectar con el vibe coding también, que quizás algunas de ustedes van a utilizar en sus proyectos. Ya, entonces él instaló todas las dependencias de cloud de OpenAI, ¿no? En este ejemplo. Y ahora, a ver, Dani, what are you doing now?
Oh, I'm copying credentials, so that's why I paused my screen share.
So
But
for Privy, right?
yes, for Privy,
Yeah.
and the other one you need is Alchemy. So I'm just going to drop the it's not necessarily Alchemy. So what that is an RPC provider which allows you to like connect to the blockchain or talk to
Yeah.
the blockchain. And so you're going to always need one. The popular providers are Infura and Alchemy.
Alchemy. Yeah.
So I'm using Alchemy for this, but you can use Infura, you can use Moralis, and any other provider that's good for you. So let me just drop
Actually,
a link.
that's awesome. Actually, we
Yeah,
did visit Alchemy on Tuesday as well to get some East Sepolia. So some of the participants could try out Unlock on Base Sepolia.
awesome.
And so they already visited the website
Yeah,
at some
okay.
point.
All
Yeah.
right. So that means they're already familiar with the RPC. Perfect. How do I resume the sharing? All right.
I
Okay,
don't know.
perfect. So
Let's see.
yeah, I found it. I found it. So yeah, this is the
Danny, wait, before
yes.
you continue, more questions from Mario this time. Which one do you prefer, GPT or Claude? Do you have a
Uh
preference?
GPT Codex. I prefer Codex.
Okay,
And
Codex
the
it is.
reason I prefer Codex is because it kind of gives you more tokens than Claude. So the difference is Claude has a daily limit. So every time you hit your daily limit, you have to wait for 5 hours. I think it's 5 hour limits. And then when that resets, you have another 5 hours. If you exhaust your limit, then you have to wait for 5 hours. So that's really good. But Codex has a weekly and a daily limit, but it's kind of larger. So it takes you a longer time
Okay.
to hit your daily and weekly limit. And obviously, Codex gives you GPT-5, while Claude, you use the Sonnet, unless you are like subscribed to a higher plan before you get the Opus model. And so it's kind of like with GPT, you get like the highest model from OpenAI, while with Claude, you don't get the highest model from Anthropic unless you're like paying a higher subscription.
So the model you are using with ChatGPT is called Codex, right?
No, that's the application.
Oh, that's the
That's the
application.
CLI application. Yeah, from OpenAI, Codex from OpenAI. And the model it's using is GPT-5.
Thank you. Okay, because that was a question from Esther. Thank you, Yera.
Okay, so right now we've this is the example EMV file, and can I just close that? Perfect. So um you want to get a Privy app ID, and I shared the link to Privy, so you can just create an account if you haven't, and then you can create an app. Should I go ahead and try to walk through that a little bit, or people can easily get around to do that?
Buena pregunta. Good question. Yera, what do you think?
Well,
Um,
I'm not okay.
yes,
That question was not to me.
okay, yes. ¿Tienen más preguntas, chicos? ¿Alguien más tiene preguntas antes de pasar a este punto respecto a sus proyectos?
Un, dos, tres.
Mm,
I think we're good.
okay,
Okay.
So So,
Okay.
so Danny, I think no one had questions about to walk through the Privy, but also I'm not a coder and I have done it before. Yo hice mis credenciales con Privy y es súper fácil. Eso es la página web y también creo que los primeros, algunos proyectos están libres, entonces está perfecto para un hackathon. Okay, Danny, I think you can just continue walking us through your template.
All right. So once you put in the values, you just can do npm run dev, and it's going to start the development server. So once that's done, we can click this link and it'll take us here. Take a minute to open up the page. Once it's actually compiling the application, so when it's compiled, then it'll open it up. But while that's going on, I'll just do a little walkthrough of what you have here, the project structure. So right here is the ABI folder, which has the full unlock smart contract ABIs for interacting with the protocol. So this is the public lock version 14, which has all the ABI. And this is the unlock version 14, and this is the public log version 15. So it has all of um the functions in the smart contracts here. So I just kept that in case you wanted to do something that needed a function that is not part of another one which we actually use, which I'll get to later. But this is the components folder where you have all of the components, and there's just some basic ones for the template to start with, and then we have some hook. And this hooks, since it's a preview template, I created some hooks to help use the template. So this is a use smart wallet selection that helps you prefer external wallets. So typically when you do a privy thing, it might just be pointing to the embedded wallets that get created when you use privy. And so if that's not what you want, which maybe might not be the best use case, because some people will connect with their external wallets and suddenly it's showing up embedded wallets. So this hook allows you to prefer external wallets, but if there's no external wallet, then it will select the privy embedded wallet. So that's what this does. These are just some other useful things. Then in here is where you have most of the unlock functionality hooks. So there's different ones to add lock manager, deploy a lock, extend keys, and all of that. So I haven't tested all of them because I added about 7 new more hooks just before we got on the call. But the core ones like deploying a lock, add lock manager, and check if someone has a valid key, and all those other ones are actually done, tested, and working nicely, which we are going to go through. But I created all of this so you can use the full functionality of like the unlock. Obviously, this is still not all of the functions that's in the contracts because it's really packed, but these are some of the useful ones that I could just put in this template. So that's on the hooks. Then we have the lib, which has a lot of the settings, type of files. So in this blockchain files, you can go into the configuration, which has the files for setting up the clients, like how you read from the blockchain and how you write. So reading and write configs are in the clients, and this is just the index exporting what's in here. And these are provider settings. So what I did here is a privy Veeam, kind of like an adapter that allows you to interact with the privy wallet, privy authentication using the Veeam library. So it's just for convenience. So if you want to go into these settings to see how all that works, while these are some shared components. So this is the other ABI file I talked about. So this just takes in a minimal ABI for some of the things that we use to create those hooks, while the full ABIs are in this other folder. This just has the things that we actually need. So there's the one for the unlock factory, which has the create upgradable lock at version. So that allows you to create upgradable locks that you can upgrade whenever there's a new unlock version. And the next file is some transaction helpers that are quite useful. So this has something like extract token ID from receipts. And so typically when you deploy like when someone purchases a key, they have a token ID. So this function just extracts the token ID from the receipt that gets given out when a blockchain transaction happens. And there are some other useful functions here like extract token from transfers, extract lock address from receipts, which we'll see when it gets into action shortly. And in here are some other utilities that you can check out. So I think it's compiled. So let's hop back over to see what it looks like. So pretty simple UI just to get things going. And what you need to do is just click connect and it opens up the privy connect model. So you can use email or you can just connect a wallet, which is what I'll do. So I'll just use the MetaMask and I'll just pause this while I enter my password.
We have a question. If we
Okay.
can. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yes, Esther is asking if how can she add this code to the code she already has, and can she share her repository so you can guide her?
Um, which of the code, because there's a lot of different aspects to this. So like what part exactly is she interested in adding?
Esther, ¿nos puedes dar más detalle, por favor? Hmm. Okay, we still don't have a reply from Esther. Maybe we can. How to link the unlock part because the code needs what? Okay, how to link the unlock part because the code has to connect with the wallet. Am I right?
And
I'm not sure I understand exactly. Stella, you want to jump in?
Yeah.
I don't think the question is really clear. It's not a matter of translation. Esther, would you feel like sharing your screen and show exactly where it's problematic? I think this is how Danny can probably be best of
La
help.
idea es como poder unir esto, o sea, poder como unir la conexión con Unlock para cuando ya él pueda hacer como, es que espérenme, les envío como el pantallazo.
She sent the link in the chat. Danny, can you check?
Ese es el prompt,
Okay.
digámoslo así, la página, entonces,
All right. So that's the Salud ID. Is that
Yeah,
it?
Salud ID Certificados Médicos Blockchain. If you want,
Okay.
you clicked already. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will answer in the meantime to
y está
Adrian in the chat.
All right. So connect wallets. You can see. Okay. So right now I can connect my wallet and uh let's see. This thing is in my face. Right. So what
issues.
exactly is she trying to do? So the first thing is you can connect your wallet. So obviously there's a wallet connection part already set up in the website. And what actions can we take? Are we trying to register?
Y la idea
So
es,
get membership NFT. Okay. So yeah, that would be a good part for something like, depending on, I'm not sure how
y
her
cómo
Yeah,
connection
emitir
is set
el
up,
certificado.
but you see, simply taking the hook, like, let's say this hook, where's this
grant
one?
keys, I think.
The
Is it grant
purchase,
keys?
no, the purchase one, use
Uh,
lock, but use key purchase. So this key
yeah,
purchase one is what you would use for a place like Get Membership NFT. Okay.
Okay.
So you would, let me head to the demo so it would make more sense, right? Because if we're here,
En,
it would be easier. So the first thing you want to do is deploy a lock. So let me just make this more zero so it doesn't really cost anything. My lock one. So when you click on that, it's going to pop out the MetaMask thing, and we click deploy, and it's deployed it. So that's how this lock address comes up, is obviously using the filter get lock address from receipt thing. So we're going to take this now, and we're going to come to this purchase, put in that lock
ujú,
address. But before I do that, if we come over here, we're going to put in this. That's the lock address. We want to check some things about this connected user, which is this address, my address. Uh, okay, yeah, this is it. So we're gonna come all the way down here, put in the address, and click check info. And so you see some results. Does he have a valid key? No. Is he a lock manager? Yes. What's the price? That's the price we set. And it's native. It's with Ether. It's not a ERC20 token. So what we want to do is we want to make this guy have a valid key. And the way we do that is we want to purchase. So what is here is get membership NFT. Yes. So technically what that person has to do to get the NFT is to make a purchase, depending on your use case. So we can do the grant keys, but that's when you're given for free. But right now we want to sell the membership. So we'll have to use the purchase method, and that's the lock address. And then you click purchase. And so it comes up again, and that's done now. So hopefully this guy has access now. We need to do the check again. And as you can see, it has access. This is the token ID. And when it expires, when the access that they have now expires, and that's in, I think, a year from now. And that's because when we were deploying the lock, we set the expiration to 1 year. So for this place, you're going to take that hook, and first you need to deploy a lock, right? You need to deploy the lock that will be the membership NFT, and then you're going to hook it up to the hook, which is this one, the key purchase hook, and you can
y,
integrate that hook.
y
Sorry.
también la parte de issues al lado del record, la parte superior, y le dices, Estela,
Uh,
¿Puedes
el,
repetir esta?
del que está issue, que ese sería como el certificado médico, antes de verificar en la parte superior, en el menú superior, que sí le puede dar ahí.
Mm, bueno, debes utilizar el hook que Dani mencionó, ¿no?
Sí, no, creo que sí también, porfa, puede darle en la parte superior al menú, que es el de issue. Aquí le quiero preguntar algo y le puedes decir.
Yeah, por favor, me ayudas. No entiendo.
¿Puedes repetir, por favor, Esther?
En la parte superior está el menú, Record, Issue, Verify.
Ok, ok,
Es que si
ya,
porfa le da en Issue, que es como el certificado que queremos que lo firme, me imagino, con Smart Contract. Y ahí sería
ok, so you
Eso.
want the, dime.
No, you go.
Okay, so you want the issue to be with a smart contract, am I right, Esther?
Sí, sí, sí. O sea, que lo
Oh,
mires y podemos hacer la conexión con Unlock, precisamente para con Unlock poder hacer firmar el certificado, que sería como un smart contract, si estamos bien, si es
okay,
así.
okay. If I understood correctly, Esther wants to the issue part that is besides record in the banner, in the header. So she wants to make the issue with the no issue.
Okay,
Okay.
issue.
Yeah, yes, with a smart contract. So she wants to connect with Unlock. So with Unlock, Esther, can you repeat the last part, please? With
Se
Unlock.
supone, se supone que cuando el médico ya se registre, puede emitir el certificado.
Ah, ahora
Okay.
entiendo. Okay, okay, I can explain. Okay, Dani, gracias esta para la
Y después lo
paciencia.
pueda verificar. Sí.
Creo que ahora entiendo. Okay, so what Esther wants to do on this page is essentially she wants to have like essentially a registration form for a medical professional, right? And she wants to make sure that after the person has registered, and I want to assume she needs like some other type of KYC or verification, we have to tell her where to find those and unlock. But essentially, she wants to make sure that, you know, from this page they register, and after they register, they get their certificate minted directly to their wallet, basically.
Que
That
pueda,
says like,
Okay.
oh,
pueda
I'm an
certificar.
official.
Una
Yeah,
vez registrado,
yeah.
pueda él hacer el certificado y yo asumo que con el Unlock haciendo la firma de Smart Contract sería ya el certificado. ¿Es así?
Mm, Bueno, puedes, entonces, ¿qué puedes hacer? Puedes hacer un formulario de registración, ¿no? Como una página o el inicio de la página. Y cuando él sube sus documentos oficiales, me parece, algo así, ¿no? Que puedes subir al Arweave o a IPFS, por ejemplo, como storage, ¿no? O Filecoin obviamente, ¿no? Para este hackathon. Puedes poner una segunda página, ¿no? En que todo el proceso es completo, los documentos están bien, ¿no? Entonces, él puede mintear su certificado oficial de Unlock en el nivel de blockchain. Eso es,
Sí.
¿no?
Ujú.
Ya, pero me parece buena idea cuando están en dos pasos. Y también tenemos, Danny, can I quickly share my screen to show
Oh,
the?
sure.
Oh,
Sure.
no,
Sure.
wait. Actually, don't. You go to the Unlock website. You go in one of your events or whatever, and show Esther, please, the other
I
hooks
don't
we
think
have.
I have my this
You do. You
account
don't have
hooked
anything.
any
Yeah. Okay.
events on this wallet.
Okay, wait, let me do it then. Wait.
Yeah.
Un momento, voy a mostrar algo que puede ayudar probablemente al proceso de verificación, ¿no?
Dale, dale.
Porque debes poner algo como la gente puede verificar que están realmente humanos, ¿no? Algo así,
Sí,
no
sí.
solamente
Ujú.
médicos. A ver, entonces, y eso también son hooks, ¿no? Entonces, puedes utilizar como hooks también. A ver. ¿Qué está pasando? Toma tiempo. Toma tiempo. Bueno. ¿Puedes ver mi pantalla?
Sí,
Sí.
Ok, perfecto. Entonces, ahora debo pensar, es en settings y creo es en advanced. Y hay más hooks de otros partidos, ¿no? De los partners. Por ejemplo, tenemos una oportunidad para enlacear, creo que, un
sí,
contrato customizado, ¿no? Por ejemplo, para un contrato que es específicamente, por ejemplo, para el KYC, ¿no? Puedes poner un hook para un password, puedes poner uno por captcha, ¿no? Y yo pensé, antes tenemos hook cancel, key transfer. ¿Dónde está nuestro hook de Gitcoin Passport? ¿No existe nomás?
The passport is an API you call with the locksmith.
Oh, ya, ok. Entonces no puedo mostrar aquí, debemos ir aquí, la verdad. ¿Y dónde me guías? Where, Danny? You have to guide me. Where can
Locksmith
I find
is in the tools. Go to the tools.
tools?
Locksmith.
Locksmith.
Yeah, the API. You're gonna scroll all the way down to I think is get passport something. That thing is not the easiest name to find, but
Oh no,
that's is there a
this
search
is
in the page? You can use Control F and type in passports in the Control F so that whatever passport is on the page, you'll be able to find it.
home tools. Dann ist da tools.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know. This is not good.
Let me try to find it.
I had it recently. I just
All right, I
pulled this
have it.
up.
I'm going to send you the link in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. Lo siento, esta. A ver, ¿dónde estamos? Ya, eso, por ejemplo, se vale, ¿no? Para verificar una persona es humana o, bueno, pero eso en la verdad es muy Web3. Entonces, me parece, para completar tu idea, debes pensar en un proceso de KYC que puedes poner antes para no gente muy random, ¿no? Pueden mintear este certificado, porque cuando eso se pasa, tienes un problema, ¿no?
sí.
Ah, ok, listo, lo siento. Vamos al siguiente paso. Pero eso sí, sí, ¿vale para ti? ¿Está bien? ¿Está?
Sí, la idea también era, yo puedo unir Unlock para que él firme el certificado, que es lo que entendí que Unlock podía hacer, como emitir el certificado.
Bueno, en la verdad, puedes emitir directamente, porque los logs son contratos, ¿no? Y la gente que mintean directamente por el contrato. Entonces, puedes poner un checkout builder, ¿no? Para eso, puedes implementar eso como un enlace y ya listo, ¿no? O puedes implementar, me parece, directamente por la página. But I will ask Danny. Danny, what would be your, I want to say, sleekest move to implement the emission of the certificate directly into the website? So I told her essentially make one page that is the registration, put in like some verification process in the middle, and then have people directly mint from the contract after the verification has been approved. But what would be your ideal process of doing that?
For me, I would say the most straightforward way using unlock protocol only, there would still be some part of things like IPFS or whatever if you want to store data. But if you just want to use unlock,
Filecoin.
there might be
Filecoin.
you would say I would say, yeah, for the what you call it, the URI part where the URI could be saved. And so what you would do is you would create the lock for the certificate back end. So it's like maybe registration lock or whatever it is you want to call it. And so when they go through the process, by the time they're done and they click on submit, it's going to take the necessary information that needs to be part of the lock or something, and then it's going to just grant the keys, or it's going to do a free purchase to that person. So there's no price, or if there's a price, depending on how they want it. But what happens is when they click the registration button, the MetaMask thing comes up and they get a key to that lock that represents the registration or the certification. And then if there's an image to it, the image gets saved to IPFS or whatever, or like that custom thing gets attached to the URI of that token that they that is minted. Like in the demo that I did, you saw it was token ID 1. So each NFT has a token URI which you can use to store specific information. And so that token URI, they can set it to have the information. So it could be a graphics that has the name, the whatever, or however they want to design it or something. And so in that URI will be the information, and then that would just be saved in the registration log. Hopefully that makes sense.
So you're essentially, if you look at my screen, this is the token ID, right? So the
Yes.
first owner of a contract has always the
Yes.
token ID number 1, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just goes consecutive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to add a base, where can I do this? Oh, in settings, right? And then I think,
Base token I
do you
think, yeah,
remember?
not exactly,
Here,
but check. There's
general,
yeah.
here, right? So this is
Yes.
it. And you can
Uh-huh.
replace that with whatever,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is the one for the general, like the base token. And then each individual token there's a way to set it for each individual token. So maybe you do like /1. Remember how NFTs used to be back in the day? So when you get your Bored Apes, it'll be that string /1. So that /1 is for that specific token ID.
Actually, I think we do have we have a tutorial for dynamic NFTs.
NFT,
So
yeah.
here, eso es el enlace para ver cómo puedes poner, como Daniel mencionó, que puedes poner para cada token ID o una base URI individual, y puedes agregar datos individuales, ¿no? Con eso. Right? You can put essentially through these individual base URIs, you can like connect specific data per token ID, correct?
Yes, that's
Okay,
precisely right.
good. Okay, nice. So, entonces, por ejemplo, en el caso de esta, puede estar el token que pueden ver, ¿no? En línea, por ejemplo, en OpenSea o cualquier plataforma. No es solamente quizás una confirmación gráfica, ¿no? De si estoy un médico, pero también puedes tener diferentes imágenes o documentos adicionales agregado a lo mismo token ID.
Another thing that I just thought about right now, remember when we're doing the hooks walkthrough yesterday, there's a hook for on token URI, which is a method that is called whenever the token URI is called. And so you can use that hook to set custom settings on like what happens whenever you call the token URI of a specific token. And then you can maybe set it to point to something else, maybe a Google Doc or a Google Drive or an IPFS CID, something like that.
Can you, Danny, can you check in the documentation that specific hook
Hook.
so we can
Yeah,
also put it here in the chat so they can
let
check
me,
it out?
yeah, great. I'm just in the docs, so
Ok,
not
porque
going
hay
to.
un otro hook que es un poco más especial y te permite para agregar más datos. Entonces, cuando tienes
Ok.
ya, espero que eso va a estar una ayuda. También puedes preguntar más por el chat de Discord cuando tienes más problemas, pero probablemente vale la pena para ver la documentación y quizás puedes copiar enlaces a tu
Yeah, so
archivo de
this is
proyecto.
exactly what you need. If you look at the documentation, it's what it says. This hook is called every time.
Yeah.
It allows customization of the metadata for each token.
Oh, nice. Oh, I had no idea actually about this one. This is really cool. Even I didn't
Yeah.
know. Okay.
That's why
Cool.
I was trying to emphasize the importance of these hooks. Like they're so great.
They're actually pretty powerful. Would you say
Yeah.
that working the first time with hooks, does it require some rethinking?
Rethinking. So this is just a that's a good question actually, but it's really not that complicated because the contract wouldn't really do too much. It's something that an an AI could easily understand, read the docs, and just make a simple thing that you can just work with if you tell it what you want to do. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. Yeah.
it's not like a complex hook that needs to, have a lot of thinking to create something. This is a pretty simple one.
Okay. So would you recommend for the hackers to rather keep it functions easy for this project and just go with like a few hooks instead of like overdoing it?
Yeah, I
Can I
mean,
assume that? Yeah.
for this use case, they don't necessarily have to go overboard. Like they could do the simple integration of, like, using the unlock to get the basics of the user. Just they get the token ID that can be used. So that's like keeping it simple, you know while maybe some other thing can be used to store some of the other data if they want to really keep it simple, or they can try to explore the hooks, you know
Ya, con razón.
that's what I would
Entonces,
say.
en resumen, Dani dice que sí, para este ejemplo no es necesario que utilizas muchas hooks, ¿no? Pero puedes utilizar algunos y estás bien. Y bueno, también es parte de la experimentación de un hackathon para probar cosas. Quizás no todos van a funcionar, ¿no? Pero como nosotros mencionamos, hay bastante diferentes oportunidades para conectar o para implementar Unlock en tu proyecto. Entonces, también cuando te parece es un poco complicado, me parece igual es una buena idea para probar, ¿no? Pero también tenemos otras funcionalidades que te permiten para implementar el Unlock en otra manera, por ejemplo, con el paywall o el checkout. Eso también es una opción, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, Yera, ¿cómo estamos con el tiempo?
Ya nos hemos pasado un poquito, son 6:02, pero quería saber si alguien más tiene preguntas, consultas.
A ver. Honestamente, 8 minutos antes de nuestra sesión regreso a mi internet. Ya estaba en totalmente blackout aquí en La Molina y yo pensé no puedo conectarme, pero gracias a Dios regreso en tiempo.
Por
Estela,
suerte.
buenas tardes. Solo algo breve, Candelaria te saluda.
Hola.
Eh,
Mira, tal vez yo no manejo el tema de desarrollo, pero un poquito quería explicarte el tema del proyecto. La
Ujú,
persona que maneja desarrollo nos había recomendado un blog, pero un poco a ver para explicarte la idea. Nosotros estamos haciendo trazabilidad de un producto, aplicando el blockchain. O sea,
ujú,
por ejemplo, ¿no? Digamos, si un agricultor fabrica papa, entonces queremos
ujú,
hacer toda la secuencia desde un agricultor que registre la fecha, un certificado, luego un
ujú,
transportista, su guía, luego el de aduanas que registra así las documentaciones y toda esa trazabilidad para que cuando llegue a un cliente, por ejemplo, del extranjero, con un simple QR pueda revisar toda esa trazabilidad que ha tenido el producto, ¿no? Entonces, más o menos a ello es lo que está evocado en nuestro proyecto. ¿Qué nos sugieres? Em, este,
Me, me parece primero un muy buen proyecto. En el último hackathon que yo visité en Bolivia, tenían un proyecto similar porque hay necesidad, ¿no? Hay necesidad para eso. Entonces me parece una muy buena idea. Y también Perú hace muchas exportaciones en el extranjero,
así es.
entonces
Ajá,
también muy buena idea me parece porque lo más del negocio de Perú, ¿no? Es pues de exportaciones de la minería, de agricultura, entonces súper bien. ¿Cómo puedes utilizar? Prácticamente la misma manera como nosotros explicamos al esta, ¿no? Uh, hay diferentes oportunidades, pero voy a preguntar a Dani por la solución técnica mejor, ¿ok? Un momento. Entonces, Dani,
Yeah.
Candelaria and her teammates, they want to develop a project in which they can trace a product, essentially the life cycle of a product. So Peru has a lot of export going on in mining, but also in agriculture. And with her app, she wants to make sure that people who see the final QR code of a product, they can trace back like essentially the whole life cycle, right? Where is it from? Who was involved? Where did it go? How was it transported? Like all of these things. Can
Mhm.
you help me like suggest, I guess, the best technical solution you can think of?
So yeah, the thing is, like if you think of it, like once you deploy a lock for the product, like each product has a lock, each phase that it gets to, the it could be some kind of transfer. You could use one of the mechanisms, like either you use a transfer which leaves a transaction hash from previous owner to the next owner. So if it's a supply chain, each point in the thing has where it's going to be transferred to, which would have some verification processes built around that. So you have different things designed around there. But once the key or something is transferred from this owner to that point, you know that the hash, you can always trace on the blockchain how the NFT has moved, like which hands it has changed. And so if it
Mhm.
gets to wherever, that you would know that this truly is the progeny of the thing. You know, let's
So
say
So they could essentially mint one contract per product, right? And then every token ID is, one of these products. So let's say it's
yes,
the product
exactly.
is the contract is the broccoli contract, right? Then
Uh-huh.
broccoli one would be token ID one, right? As soon as
Yeah.
it gets transferred to the next verifier, well,
Mm-hmm.
then it goes into the next stage and so on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Let me explain that. Okay, Candelaria, estamos en regreso con una solución. Entonces, Dani dice, puedes mintear un contrato para una categoría de productos, ¿no? Entonces, tienes un contrato, por ejemplo, para el brócoli, ¿ok? Y todos los NFTs, como mencionamos antes, tienen una token ID, ¿no? Token ID es individual y esos son los NFTs. Entonces, cada NFT puede avanzar en el proceso con una transferencia, ¿no? Entonces, el primer paso es con la agricultura que crece el brócoli, ¿no? Y, por ejemplo, es el brócoli número 1, ¿no? Entonces, ella o él, no sé, va a enviar este producto de Token ID 1, ¿no? Sobre tu aplicación a lo próximo paso, ¿no? No sé, un registro de calidad, por ejemplo, durante el proceso, ¿no? Y cuando
Así
ellos
es.
sí confirman, ¿no? La. ¿Qué te parece?
Ok, ok. O sea, sería
Tiene,
mediante contratos, ¿me dices?
debes
¿Cómo
tener
se?
un contrato para un grupo de productos. Por ejemplo,
Ya,
cuando, ¿no? Todos los proveedores de brócoli, ¿no?
ok, ya,
Van a mintear su NFT sobre este contrato. Pero todos los NFTs y puedes mintear sobre este contrato sin fin, ¿no? En este grupo de producto. Cada NFT tiene un número individual, ¿no? Y puedes utilizar lo mismo enlace, lo mismo, ¿cómo se llama? Hook, de token URI hook, ¿no? Para registrar datos individuales con cada NFT que están minteando. Y después vas a enviar lo mismo NFT bajo del proceso, ¿no? Entonces, primero es la agricultura. Segundo, quizás es el proceso o la persona que verifica la calidad, ¿no? Lo próximo es, no sé, la gente de
trans,
logística, ¿no? El
ajá,
transporte, ¿no? Y todos los pasos, ¿no? Pero siempre va a estar lo mismo NFT. Entonces envías lo mismo NFT sobre el blockchain a los diferentes pasos, ¿no? Con una token ID individual. Y así
ujú,
garantizas que siempre es lo mismo producto y todo está transparente porque se transfieren en el nivel de blockchain. Entonces,
claro,
puedes verificar todos los dueños antes, ¿no? Que es muy
así
práctico,
es, así es.
¿ya?
Ah,
Me
perfecto,
parece muy buena
ya.
idea.
Es que en realidad no solamente con un producto, en realidad es en cualquier producto que uno puede hacer eso y en realidad nosotros como, bueno, en mi grupo hay ingenieras químicas, ingenieras industriales que manejamos el tema de procesos y esto es, y hemos visto pues muchos productos, mucho papeleo y tantas cosas y esto en realidad sería una
Sí.
buena opción. Pero también te
Co-
quería preguntar, si, si un, si un, si un cliente me pregunta el tema del costo, o sea, qué tan costoso es implementar este tema de blockchain con un loco, ¿cuál sería tu respuesta?
Un- Unlock no tiene precio. Entonces, cuando tu contrato o tu NFT no tiene precio, todo eso es libre. No tiene costo, ¿no?
Ok.
Pero sí debes pagar el gas, ¿no? Porque solo con eso puedes verificar en el nivel de blockchain. Cuando no pagas gas, no puedes verificar nada porque el proceso a lo blockchain no trabaja para ti cuando no pagas el gas, ¿no? Entonces, eso
A
es
qué te
algo.
refieres a gas? Perdón,
A
no tengo
gas,
conocimiento.
gas es el pago que debes hacer para cada transacción en el nivel de blockchain. Debes pagar los validadores de blockchain, en la verdad, ¿no? Cuando no pagas a ellos, no puedes verificar nada en el nivel de blockchain. Entonces, no es un pago a nosotros, ¿no? Pero es un pago a los redes de blockchain.
Ah, ¿y de cuánto estamos hablando más o menos?
Céntimos,
O-
mini céntimos.
ya,
Ya, no es un
ya.
precio como en Bitcoin o antes en Ethereum. Yo recuerdo los tiempos en Ethereum en que debes pagar el gas como $250. Estaba para llorar realmente. Pero ahora
Mm,
con Base, con Arbitrum, con Optimism, todos los redes que nosotros también tenemos en Unlock, ¿no? Pagas céntimos, como 0,01 o 0,01 algo. Es muy, muy poco.
Ah, ya,
Todo
ya,
bien.
ok. Ok, Estela, igual cualquier consulta por el WhatsApp, creo que estás en el grupo. Está tu...
Estoy en el grupo, pero cuando tienes preguntas al desarrollo, mi recomendación es que tu desarrollador en tu equipo va a entrar
Ajá,
el Discord de Unlock, ¿no?
ajá,
Porque también hay el fundador de Unlock, hay algunas personas más técnicas que yo, ¿no? Quien
ujú.
puedes preguntar allá. Y también tenemos un canal en español. Espérate, voy a copiar el enlace un rato. Y también estoy enviando por el chat una vez más este enlace que puedes quizás enviar a tu desarrollador, porque con este enlace puedes manipularlos, no manipular, pero puedes añadir datos individuales a cada NFT, ¿no?
Ah, ok,
Entonces,
ok.
eso sí creo que para tu proyecto también vale como el proyecto de esta. Ya,
Listo.
Perfecto, gracias.
Listo,
de
ya
nada.
tenemos que terminar la llamada. Más bien, muchas gracias, Estela. Muchas gracias, Dani. Thank you, Dani. Thank you, Estela, for your time. Así que, bueno, esperemos que esta llamada, bueno, ha sido un montón, hemos visto muchos temas y con eso estamos terminando. No hay muchas gracias. A ver si ya procedo a cerrar la
Gracias.
llamada.